Good evening. My name is Marisol Colquitt, author of Finding True Love Through Online Dating, a Christian Woman's Guide, available on Amazon, eBay, Ingram's Park, as well as my website, www.marisolcolquitt.com. And by the way, before I continue, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Please don't forget to hit subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, or follow me if you're watching on TikTok. If you're here because you're still single and you've been praying for your future husband or future wife, I encourage you to pick up a copy of my book, because it's going to give you all the tools you need to find success on online dating. A lot of people, they kind of turn up their nose on online dating because they think that it's for desperate people like me. When 10 years before I met my husband, I thought online dating was for desperate people. But then I realized that if you don't really have a choice in person, you got to be open to other channels, to other opportunities. And I learned to overcome that mentality, and I'm so glad I did, because by God's grace I found my one true love. Well, to put it in the right way, it's actually my one true love found me online, and he's been the best husband. I'm not saying he's perfect, but he's the best, awesome, amazing, incredible husband to me. And I want you to have that same success that I had, because God is always present in our lives. He wants to be a part of our lives, and he cares about every detail of our lives, including love life. So if you feel that God may have forgotten you, and God is taking his time, God is not working fast enough, I know it's normal. Don't feel bad and don't beat yourself up, if you have those thoughts, because there are times I wondered if I'm ever gonna get married. So, um, but at the same time, you also need to be open, it's like, okay, if you've been dating in person for 10 years and nothing is happening, maybe it's time for you to check out other avenues, because again, God works in mysterious ways, and sometimes it doesn't have to be mysterious. There's nothing mysterious about online dating. You just have to give it a try. Okay, and without any further ado, I'm gonna go and pick up from where I left off. Again, please grab a copy so that you can follow along, or you can just watch and listen. And feel free to share this video to those you think might need to hear this. God bless. Okay. Prior to meeting my husband, I'm on page 44. There was only one other man I seriously considered and prayed about. Two at the most, but the other one was an old friend I often fought with in college. Had we ended up with each other, it would have been a massive train wreck, and the fault would not have been solely his. Besides, I was too young at the time to understand my emotions and what was going on with me. The other one I got really close to was a friend with whom I got entangled in what seemingly looked like a love emotional triangle. I had to clarify that it's emotional because my husband told me that if you say love triangle, apparently here in America, people might think it's a sex triangle. Like, what? So I had to make sure that there was nothing physical going on, just emotional, mental, more like stress. We were good friends at the beginning, sharing our lives over healthy fellowships and adventures with others. However, things quickly took a turn among the three of us when a common female friend started insinuating that our male friend was interested in her. Well, our male friend was hanging out exclusively with me at the time, but not with her. She was never on his lips when he was with me, but it was always, all she talked about was him. Oh my gosh, it was draining. On her lips, she often pretended and denied liking our friend whenever I asked her, but then she'd also deflect and start sharing about what our male friend did or said to her, implying that he was into her. I believed she often denied her feelings for a common male friend whenever I asked her, because she knew that the guy and I were hanging out. But the stories she told me were almost believable and planted serious doubts and fears in me. I started wondering about what our male friend's real intention towards me was. If he was hanging out with other women while hanging out with me, what was he doing and why? The last thing I wanted was to be a meantime friend. You know, someone enjoys your company and that of others while waiting for the right woman or man with no regard for your emotions. I thought I did not wait a lifetime to end up like that to someone. So, I quickly hatched a plan to end my friendship with our common male friend. I know, it sounds rash, but for someone who was in the habit of sabotaging potential relationships due to her insecurities, that was me, and fears stemming from her dark past, it was normal for me, quote unquote normal. Yes, I was already a believer, but as it turned out, I had not yet been completely delivered from my past. Can anyone out there relate? To cut a long story short, I did sabotage my friendship with the male friend in the hopes of paving the way for the female friend. Things also started to get toxic between the female friend and me. I was just grateful not to get entangled in such an unhealthy web of friendship anymore. I failed to do one thing though. I didn't bother to clarify things with our male friend first before I sabotaged things between him and me. I didn't factor in his feelings or the fact that he might have truly valued me and my friendship. Also, he was a brother in Christ first before he was a friend. Suffice to say, without getting into details, he made it known that I hurt him very badly. I learned not to blame the woman either. She was just a woman wanting a man, a woman who was willing to do or say anything to keep a man by her side. I must add, a man that did not belong to her by her side. I didn't write that. Don't get me wrong, I too was hurt so badly. It wasn't easy at all. In fact, the next few years were the most painful years of my life as the Lord used the opportunity to work his way in and through me. This is what I call the process. This is when God was really working in me, through me, within me, and really um, pruning the ugly parts in my heart. The ugliness, the insecurities, the fears and doubts, and really soul searching because I was wondering, I really want to be in a relationship, but I was struggling so much to trust, especially a man. If I feel like a man has a great propensity to hurt me or the capacity to hurt me because I'm falling for him, I'm definitely going to do everything in my power to sabotage that friendship. So I was very good at deflecting. I was very good at pushing a man away, and I did make a few men cry, and I'm not proud of that. But I'm just sharing this for anyone out there who might be able, to relate with me, because a lot of women who had, very bad childhood, had traumatic past um, maybe in their childhood or maybe even in their adult lives. It's just so hard for them to trust. So I'm just speaking to you right now. If you're one of those women, one person that I can think of that can really understand where I'm coming from is Miss Joyce Meyer. I was never sexually assaulted. She was a victim of sexual assault for so many years, for more than a decade, and she really explains things very well. So I know I'm digressing, but I just feel like it's important for you who might be watching this who had a very dark past, and it's just so hard for you to trust. I want you to check out Miss Joyce Meyer because she has so many books and she has amazing teachings on, healing the soul of a woman, because she can relate to you. And I know that there are many of us out there who, when a good guy comes along, we can't believe that that guy is true. We can't believe that that guy is real. We can't believe that that guy is sincere. So we're gonna try our best to sabotage the friendship so we won't get hurt. It's like a self-preservation. We just want to preserve ourselves because we've been hurt so much that we just can't trust. But you know what? If you want to a relationship.